G'day, welcome to another edition of Sharks TV. This edition is a very special one. We're going to actually review our game against Redlands last weekend and preview our game against Aspley this long weekend, Queen's birthday. Matt, welcome again. Another cracking game against Redlands, but we just fell short.
Yeah, absolutely. Very high standard game. A little bit slow out of the blocks. Our skill level wasn't quite up to scratch, but I think that was, to be fair, in direct response to probably the best pressure we've had from an opposition side. So we were 20 points down pretty quickly before we were able to hit the scoreboard, and that was, in terms of the margin, that was about 22 points we were down at three-quarter time, but then a really heroic performance in the last quarter. 5 goals to 2. We actually hit the front at the 13-minute mark. Our pressure was unbelievable, and then both sides just we got in front, they got in front, we got in front again, and then they got a goal with a couple of minutes left, and were able to hold us out. But both sides making quite a few turnovers, players really exhausted and fatigued at the end. But yeah, great game again. Redland have got us. We've only lost to 2 teams, and Redland twice up at their home ground. So it's certainly something we do have them again one more time later in the year back at home. So we look forward to that game. That'll be pretty important to us to where our season shapes up.
Yeah, correct. You mentioned the Bombers' pressure. They almost played our own game against us, but we still won the tackle count in the end by 97 to 87.
Yeah, I mean the tackle count's 93 and 83, I think. So 180 tackles. That's pretty exceptional for a game of footy. That it wasn't. It was a little drizzle at one point, but it wasn't a wet weather game. So yeah, that's the level that we're setting, and teams are obviously going to target us in that area and not let us dictate the physical side of the game. We won all our key areas, contested possessions. We were up. We had a significant amount more of possession, but just Redlands' efficiency and their ability to score from similar number of inside 50s, but just that there's a little less effort required on the surface for their goals.
Yeah, you mentioned that, or what you actually took the words right out of my mouth. 87 more possessions during the day, a little more efficient with their ball use. Is this concerning at all moving forward?
No, not at all. They're a really good side. I think it's definitely when you take the scoreboard out, we're hitting all our markers. We know throughout the year we haven't been 100% in our forward line in terms of the way we bring it in, our efficiency in the forward 50. But all our key markers, the way we want to play, are way up, and another high class game, and we're up to our eyeballs in the game, and fall back after a bit of a sluggish start. So no, we're really comfortable. We know that the draw is it's a great competition. We've got Aspley again this week, so another high quality team. And the way the draw is, though, we're not worried about ladder positions, or we're 5 and 3, and we feel we're pretty comfortable with that. And we know what we've got to keep improving, and whether we win or lose this week, we'll be keeping our nose to the grindstone to make sure that our effort every week is right up there.
Mark Collison, 34 possessions, including 19 handballs. Jason Burge had 29. That our runners still seem to be racking up plenty of possessions through the midfield. We've got to be happy with Collison's job.
Yeah, Mark's playing well at the moment. He definitely he stepped up. Jason Burge copped a heavy knock early in the game, and his first half wasn't quite his usual self, but he fought back into the game. But look, defensively, our midfield are always going to be under the gun. Possessions don't mean a lot if your opposition are able to be efficient through the midfield as well. So that's certainly an area every week we look at. But Mark's playing well, has been playing well for a little while now. But in terms of our best players, our backs were under the pump, and for me, best on ground by the length of the straight was Jake Keller. His job on Daniel Zufo was supreme, on a really quality player, but also able to give us a heap of springboard from defence as well. So, and a number of the other defenders performed really well too.
True. Baxter's kick 4. He was really good, and also Big Mitch Brewer kicked 3 despite being double teamed. nearly every time the ball went inside 50. Another couple of good performances from the forwards.
Yeah, big fellas attract the crowd when they're. The key with Mitch is to be able to lead and go through the contest, and you started seeing him do that. He took a fantastic hanger on the weekend, but also it takes a bit of courage to be that third man that backs into Mitch leading out, and I'm not so sure that some of the Redland boys will be that keen to put their hand up to do it. There were some really brave efforts from their players, but and Josh is continually his work rate is really even. I think he had 7 shots on goal. And really looked one-on-one, really looked strong, had his opponent's measure, and so it's promising. It's just the synergy around your forward mix and a few things we just need to tweak to have them working a little bit more consistently.
Absolutely. And we get Redlands again in another 6 weeks' time, but let's move on to the next game, Aspley this weekend. And I've got to ask you, if there's ever an 8-point game exists, is this one? Is this a vital game for us?
Oh, no. There is never a game where 8 points are actually up for grabs. So a wise old head.
You know what I meant from that.
A wise old head once told me never to fall for that one. But look, every game's really important. We feel that as soon as you start focusing on those kind of things, you're taking your eye off the ball completely, and that's been a mantra for the group. They're really just concerned with the first contest on the weekend and the way that they reviewed the game, the way that they're approaching it for Aspley's been really mature actually, and I don't expect anything less from them. They're really keen. Aspley up at Aspley will be it's a similar type ground to what we played at with Redland. Probably a different style of footy is what Aspley throws up. We're able to get the points the first time we played them. They've got a few, about 3 or 4 different players into the mix, including a wily old veteran, Austin Lucy, who has been a great player in Queensland footy over the last decade. And so he brings up something different for them, and Michael Hutchison, I have a lot of time for him as a defender for Aspley. Gives them a lot of run, but also support Robbie Copeland and Gav Gross. So their back six are starting to look really strong, and like ours, they get a lot of confidence from their back six, and arguably the best performing midfielder in Matty Payne during the year so far.
Going well.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's take you through the Southport Sharks team to take on Aspley in round 11 at Graham Road. From the back line, Nick Burton, Luke Hill and Ben Headland, Todd Grayson, Wade Mills and Jake Keller across the half back line. All 6 are in form, no change there for the last 3 weeks. We have gone on about the back line before, but they're almost locks, that back 6. Across the centre, Ben Wells, Kellen Geary and Luke Shreve. Half forward line, Reggie Salter, Jake Goldsmith, Josh Baxter. Full forward line, Sam Haslam, John McCanch and Edward Mellon. Again, no change in that starting 18 across there. We're happy with that 18 going in?
Yeah, definitely. We're bringing in Lockie Weller this week. He'll play after performing really well. I think Aspley might bring in their young Tyro and Liam Dawson as well. So Lockie will come in. We haven't worked out exactly who comes out, big, small, midfielder, etc. But Lockie will definitely play. He'll start on the bench and we'll work out. But yeah, look, the team's been pretty even. We haven't made a lot of form changes through the year. We've had a few injuries, a few unavailables that have changed the side up. But basically we're pretty comfortable. The guys that have come in recently, John McCanch has stepped up since he got his second opportunity. A few guys that probably were disappointed with their efforts on the weekend in terms of across the whole game. They might have played well for a half, but had a disappointing second or third quarter, and I know they're really keen to turn that around. So we definitely want to back the players that are in there. I mean, the bench, Mark Collison obviously will rotate through the middle. Stevie Thine down back, Dylan Troutman has stepped up, a real class player through the middle, and Kieran Brennan in the ruck, and Lockie Weller. So we think Lockie makes us a better team, and just with his skill level and class. So yeah, we're pretty confident.
And then the starting rucks is Mitch Brewer, Fraser Pope and Jason Burge. Matt, Aspley at Aspley, always tough. We're not going to go with prediction or anything like that, but how do you see the game being played out?
Oh, like every week with us, we want to be really strong at the contested ball. So we expect it to be really physical. We expect Aspley to come at us really hard. We're certainly not. I think that was something that Redland did last week. They didn't let us set the physical tone. I think we're going to see that from sides. They're going to take us up to one of our strengths and then try and match us. So we're expecting a really strong physical game with them. And then I really think that the midfields will be a really interesting battle. We probably got the points last time against them. Matty Payne was still really strong, but I think Matthews, Shane Stiller, and Lucy in there as well adds a little dimension. So I think the game I don't think it will be a free-flowing shootout. I think it's going to be a real arm wrestle.
Absolutely. I'm expecting an absolutely cracking game between Aspley and Southport Sharks. Remember, you can follow this game on Twitter at Southport Sharks, or at Facebook. Just search for Southport Sharks on Facebook and you can follow all the score updates. Have a great long weekend, Queen's birthday, and we'll see you in the next edition of Sharks TV.